What's going on, guys? It's Jake Camaro here with the long-awaited initial thoughts to the Battlefield 3 Close Quarters expansion. I have a guest here that's going to help me out with this video, and I will let him introduce himself right now.
Hello, I am indeed Lemer.
So today, like I said, we're going to be talking about the Battlefield 3 Close Quarters expansion pack. I'm really sorry I did not get this video up earlier. I know that it came out a long time ago, but I'm finally able to get enough time to record it and put the video up in anticipation for Armored Kill, of course, coming in September. So, the Battlefield 3 Close Quarters DLC was the first DLC released under Battlefield 3 Premium, and the second DLC released for Battlefield 3 as the first came in, Back to Karkin came in December. Battlefield 3 Close Quarters was released for PlayStation 3 Premium members the day of the E3 2012 EA press conference, and the week after that it was released for Xbox 360 and PC premium players, and then the week after that it was released for everyone on PlayStation 3, and then the week after that it was released for everyone on Xbox 360 and PC, so it was a pretty long rollout. It took about 4 weeks for everybody to have it, but I think it was pretty good. One of the things that a lot of Battlefield 3 players have been talking about that they don't like about this expansion pack is it doesn't really capitalize on what Battlefield 3 is all about, that the maps are really small, because Battlefield 3 is known, obviously, for its very large maps and large amount of players and vehicles, and of course that's all absent from this expansion pack. But I still think it's pretty good, even though it's it's like talked about as being more Call of Duty-like. I think it's a lot of fun. The action is pretty frantic, and I really like the pace that it's at, and the maps are really cool too. So what do you think about just the expansion pack in general, Lemer?
I like the expansion pack. I like the maps that they put in. I love the guns. I think these are the best guns that they've come out with in the expansion pack. Even though this is only the second one. I do like the game modes that they came up with. I think some of them are original. Gunmaster isn't exactly original. Kind of got that off of Call of Duty, but whatever. The gameplay is a lot different for most Battlefield people. I've played Bad Company 2, and I understand what it's like to play in huge maps. And this is different, but I don't think it's bad. I think that it gives you a new challenge for all you Battlefield players out there, because this is like everything put into a small map. We're playing TDM with domination combined. I mean, this is a new challenge for everybody and gives you a new experience, so I really like it.
Yeah, so Battlefield 3 Close Quarters came with 3 new game modes, the first being Conquest Domination, which is being shown right now. It's basically normal Conquest, except there's 3 capture points on every map, and then it takes a lot less time to capture the points. The capture radius is a lot more closer to the actual point. A normal one person can capture it in about 15 seconds, which is really fast, and then the next team, like the enemy team, comes in immediately afterwards and tries to retake it. So it really keeps the action up, and one capture point that you captured about a minute ago could not be on your team anymore, and you may have to go back there and capture it again. You're really moving across the map a lot, and I think it's really cool. The next being Gunmaster, which Lemer kind of talked about a little bit. It's a lot similar to Call of Duty. It's basically, you start out with an MP443 pistol, and then every 2 kills you rank up and get a new gun, and then at the very end you have a knife, and you have to get a knife kill to be able to win a match. It's really cool, but I don't think it should have been in a team game, because there's no real reason for it being a team game, and I think it probably should have just been free-for-all. Even though Battlefield 3 doesn't really use free-for-all, I don't think there's really a big point to having like a team-based action in that. And then the last one is a TDM Close Quarters, which is basically team deathmatch on these smaller maps. So what is your favorite game mode out of them all?
I like the Conquest Domination. I think that's really cool to put domination into a small map. I like how it only takes you a few seconds to actually take position. And I like that you're always running around, because right behind you is always enemies, so practically you're circling the map. You're not in one part of the map the whole time. You're always running around, you're always experiencing new parts of the map and new challenges to the map. I do like Gunmaster. I haven't played it as much. I think it's very challenging. I mean, if you've got pretty good skills and you want to try this out, go ahead, but they have a lot of guns, and it gets to be a challenge, especially at the end with the knife. That is a pain.
Yeah, it's definitely a game mode that you really need to learn how to use a lot of the guns in the game. It's a very broad spectrum. You've got like sniper rifles and LMGs and pretty much every kind of gun in the game. But
But
I think
it does help you get used to the other guns. It does help you get used to all the guns. You don't have to unlock them. So you get to try out every single gun that is in the assignments without unlocking them. So you get to see how they feel and how they fire and all that.
yeah, so this expansion pack also came with 4 maps. Right now we're playing on Operation 925. There's also Zeba Tower, Danya Fortress, and Scrap Metal. Zeba Tower is basically the top of a high-rise like apartment building with some levels. It's basically 2 long stretches of map, and then another kind of forms a U shape, and then in the middle you've got like a courtyard. It's a couple stories, and it's pretty cool. Danya Fortress is it's probably the the largest map in the expansion, just in terms of action there. It's got several levels and some large open areas, which is pretty cool. And then you've got Scrap Metal, which is basically 2 buildings connected by some passageways. And then it's pretty cool for snipers, and there's some pretty cool close quarters area as well for all of the like assault rifles and shotguns. So what's your favorite map out of the 4?
I like Zeba Tower. I like the top of the building. Just like how it plays out. I do like 995. I think it's a cool map to play on with the underground garage, which is really cool with all the cars in it and stuff. It's really, really dark down there, so you don't know what's down there all the time. I do like Donia Fortress. I do believe it is the biggest map. The only thing is, it's concentrated. Like, you have 2 battles going on constantly. You have one side of the map where you're fighting, then you get the other side. You're always fighting at one or the other, which makes it better for getting kills, but it kind of gets boring after a while. And Scrap Metal, I've had problems with. I don't exactly like the map, but I do think it's a really cool design and how they did it, and I really do like it.
Yeah, so I think a lot of the maps are cool. They're very different than all the others because they're all like indoors, and there's a lot of verticality to these maps. All of them actually have 3 stories, and it just really is fun to go up there and get some like sniper kills and stuff like that. This expansion pack probably, in my opinion, and probably Lemer's too, came with a ton of new weapons, and they're, like he said earlier in the video, probably the best collection of guns of the game. Back to Karkin came with some good ones, but some of the guns just were completely useless. Like the PP90, it's very low damage. I didn't really like it, but a lot of these are, all except for a couple, are really, really fun to use. So basically, just like in Back to Karkin, each class has 2 weapons, and then there's 2 weapons, one being a PW, and then the other being a shotgun, that can be used in any class. So for Assault, you've got the AUG E3, and then you've also got the Scar L. For Engineer, you have the MTAR-21 and the ACWR. For Support, you have the LSAT and the L86A2. For Recon, you have the JNG-90 and the M417. And then for any class, you have the Shotgun being the SPAS-12, and the PDW is the M5K. So basically, the AUG A3 is my favorite. It's really cool. I think the M417 is pretty overpowered. It's a semi-automatic sniper rifle, and it's just super high damage. You can pretty much spray from the hip in an entire room and just get tons of kills. And I also like the SPAS-12. It's pretty high damage, pretty similar to the 870 as well. So what's your favorites of them all?
I like the TAR. I like how the TAR has like great fire rate. One thing I don't like about it is the reload speed. It's really low, so you have to make sure that you're counting your hits when you're shooting. I do like the AUG. The AUG was really good. I started out with that gun, and I used it all the way to getting a dog tag service star for it. I do like the JNG-90. I think that's a great sniper rifle. The pullback is really fast. I believe it's the fastest out of all the guns. You can be running around with no scope on it, and you just keep on going. And that's about it.
Yeah, so one of the guns that are not very powerful, I don't really like, is the LSAT. Very low damage, and I just don't really like it. It's actually used in Gunmaster, and whenever I get it, I always start to lose, and sometimes just completely get stuck on it for the entire game and lose. But that's pretty much the only real worst gun. All of them are pretty balanced. AUG is really good at close range. Like Lemer talked about the JNG 90 is really good. So it really covers a broad spectrum. So that's pretty much the end of our initial thoughts for Close Quarters. In September, we will be getting the Armored Kill expansion, which will include the largest Battlefield 3 map to date, which is pretty much the complete opposite of what Close Quarters was in terms of Close Quarters. Now it's very large open battlefields, including the new game mode, Tank Superiority. So that's pretty much the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed it, comment, subscribe, like, and we'll see you guys later. Peace out.